Nobody falls out of the womb knowing how to present to a camera. Okay? Okay. The people who are good at camera simply have practice. They have learned the skill. It is a skill. All skills are learnable, and the only way they're learnable is from continuous exposure to that exercise and activity. The only way you learn how to even put one word in front of the other inside of a camera lens is to keep exposing your body to that situation. Because I know from very real experience, even as someone who is a professionally trained educator and speaker, the first time I had a camera put in front of me, my face, mouth, and head completely and utterly packed their bags and got divorced and went and flew off to separate planets. My brain could not send any signal whatsoever to my mouth. Nothing came out in any kind of coherent manner. I didn't even know what my own name was. I actually, truly assure you, I couldn't even say or recall the name of my own course. Why? Why does this happen? The second we have that lens in our face, we are in an unfamiliar and new situation. All of our sensitivities, our ego body suddenly realizes and acknowledges that we are being seen. And that brings up all kinds of fear and sends signals to our brain of danger. And all our body, our brain receives is this massive chemical reaction of fear equals danger. Danger equals I'm in trouble, I could die. So the body does its perfectly amazing natural thing of biologically and physiologically flooding our body with all kinds of chemicals, cortisol, stress hormones that are there to force us to run away from that situation. The brain cannot comprehend when those chemicals are released, whether it's a camera lens causing them that does us no freaking harm whatsoever because it's an inanimate object that's just sat there doing nothing, or if we genuinely are being chased by a murderer. Our brain, our body can absolutely not differentiate what caused the release of those chemicals. Our neurons turn off, our cognitive functioning turns off, our ability to be eloquent completely shuts off. It does not mean that you are crap at presenting on camera. It absolutely does not equal, I'm not made for this. Your body's working. Congratulations, you're a human being. You have a biological and physiological and chemical reaction happening in your body that has actually turned off your brain function. Fact. You are not shit on camera. You now have the job of forcing yourself to remain looking at that lens and continuing to speak until your body suddenly realizes that, oh yeah, we ain't dead. We're not dead. The sky didn't fall down. I'm not bleeding. My heart's still beating. Okay. And what happens only with remaining in that place, with remaining there, with sticking it out, can be 5 minutes, it can be 30 minutes, it can be a couple of hours. Certainly in the early days, it's going to be hours, right? Only by staying there can the body begin to realize through actual experience that we are not dead, therefore this situation isn't going to kill us, and maybe this is not dangerous, and now create the learned pattern of behavior inside of our brain that will from this point onwards release less chemicals each time of danger and fear reaction mode. Only by staying in that situation can those chemicals now begin to release and dissipate through our system. And now does our brain slowly come back into active mode. Slowly, one neuron at a time, does our cognitive processing now come back online. It is not something that happens like that. And to this day, after 20 years of doing this, I still need warming up. It still takes me warm-up time to get into the flow, into the zone, having the right animation, having the right energy, letting the words flow out. Only still to this day do I have to give my body time to relax into filming mode, which is why when we film, we always film in batches. We always allocate half a day, preferably a full day in the early days of filming. because it's going to take you a good 45 minutes to an hour to just get in the zone, to just get those feelings of discomfort out, let the chemicals pass on through, and then be able to function in an effective manner in that scenario of looking down the barrel of a lens. You not being able to remember what you were going to say has nothing to do with skilled or not skilled at this. I need you to remember when you're in that place, you're just going, oh, for goodness sake, body, we're not going to die. You can release the chemicals now. Can you just let me get on with this, please? Shake. And I have also found that the stupider you can be in that moment, actually, the quicker your body begins to release those chemicals